Greetings everyone, Gul'dan here again, and here it is. We are right here on the precipice, so stay a while and listen to Stranger from Beyond. We are now 1 year before the Dark Portal, and this could be either way. Medivh could be the Stranger from Beyond, coercing the orcs to come, or some representative such as Gul'dan or Sargeras could be the Stranger from Beyond. Who knows? What we do know is that we're finally just 1 year before the Dark Portal. In this year, which this is the only event that happens in our Chronicles book. After this, we're there. We are the year that the Dark Portal happens. So we might have a little bit of events that take us up to it. But it is in this year where Rise of the Horde occurs. So the very next episode, we're going to resume our pace on that book. After that, what we will probably do is read in Chronicles the series of events that lead up to the first couple of incursions. Now, the first game begins, I believe, with some attacks in the Swamp of Sorrows. So once we actually officially have some things like that being said in Chronicles, we're going to pause right there. At that point in time, I think we are going to jump over and start reading The Last Guardian. But we'll start reading The Last Guardian up until however long it takes us, up until we get to that point where we're playing the first game. Now, in The Last Guardian, there is some future, some time, I think there's some time travel type things again, where Medivh is also looking forward to the events that happen in the Second War. So if it happens chronologically, then we'll stop that. But if it jumps around, we're just going to have to bear that out. All right, here we go. While Medivh was watching Draenor, the Horde edged closer to self-destruction. Blackhand continued pressuring Gul'dan for a way to save their people. The Warlock had no answer. He knew the day would soon come when Blackhand would reach the limits of his patience and kill Gul'dan. And I wonder if that's what the alternate timeline is. I wonder if Gul'dan has come up with a different way to make a Dark Portal. A way that's unrelated to Medivh. I wonder if there's a lot I got to pay attention to when we do that. And that has always been a fan, like anytime you enter alternate timelines, man, it's because it's like half of what you do doesn't count. But that day never came. Medivh was ready to put his plan into effect. He showed himself to Gul'dan in the Shadow Council, disguised as a hooded stranger. Gul'dan bristled at the intrusion, and he lashed out at the stranger with the full might of his fell powers. The hooded figure did not fall. He turned Gul'dan's powers back on the orc. Medivh made it a painful event. He knew the Warlock had sold his entire race to the Burning Legion, and the Guardian saw no reason to treat such a creature gently. Gul'dan's pride was severely wounded that day. The Shadow Council had watched him kneel before this mysterious stranger. It was an insult Gul'dan would never forget or forgive. So he's always going to be looking for a way to get even / betray Medivh. Medivh didn't care. He told the orcs he could help them escape from Draenor if they built a vast magical portal. This gateway would take them to a new world, a bountiful realm that the Horde could conquer for its own. Visions of this world appeared in the minds of Gul'dan and his Shadow Council. It was glorious to behold, a place brimming with game, pristine rivers, and verdant grasslands. Its name was Azeroth. It was ripe for the taking, Medivh said. Gul'dan sensed something demonic in the hooded figure. He believed that this visitor was a demon who spoke on behalf of Sargeras. This, Gul'dan realized, was the reason for Gul'dan's sudden absence. The Legion had been preparing to send another messenger to advise him about what to do. In this instance, Gul'dan was correct. Medivh believed that he was laying the foundation to defeat the Legion once and for all, but he was instead bringing doom to his world. Yet even with the knowledge that the Legion was working through the stranger, even with the orcs teetering on the brink of oblivion, Gul'dan demanded payment for his assistance. What would he personally receive for helping the stranger build a portal to conquer Azeroth? If it was power Gul'dan wanted, Medivh would offer it to him. A new vision flared bright in the Warlock's mind. It depicted ancient underwater ruins, a place known as the Tomb of Sargeras. Medivh had no compunction about telling Gul'dan of this location. The tomb was at the bottom of the sea, and Egwene had reinforced it with a guardian's power. There was no chance in Medivh's mind that Gul'dan would ever be capable of finding it or entering it. Nonetheless, he told the warlock that if the Horde conquered Azeroth, he would reveal the exact location of the tomb and grant him access to its extraordinary power. And I can't remember if it's the culminating events of the first game or the second. I kind of think it's Warcraft 2 before the expansion. But that's exactly what happens. Gul'dan finds it and is able to raise this temple up, this Temple of Sargeras. Gul'dan had little choice but to trust the stranger. He told Blackhand that he had found a new world for the orcs to conquer, one where they could find sustenance and also sate their battle lust. Yet to reach this place, they would need to create a massive gateway. To begin this process, Gul'dan sought out a convergence of Draenor's magical ley lines. He settled on a region at the eastern edge of Hellfire Peninsula. There, he and Blackhand ordered the orcs to construct an enchanted stone frame. It would become known as the Dark Portal, and it would help stabilize the magical gateway between Azeroth and Draenor. Bum bum bum. That's a big deal right there. That's the key. It's one of the main elements of the World of Warcraft universe. I'm also thinking that to power a portal like that is going to require such intensive magic that's what's going to rip apart these last things. Maybe it's even fueled by what becomes the Netherstorm. And I'm thinking we'll find that out in our Year Zero things. But Rise of the Horde culminates now. The book ends before any orcs are actually going through the portal. Or so it seems. So if we happen to get a little ahead and we enter into the months leading up to the Dark Portal, it's okay. We'll just be reading about it in that format first. It's not like we're really spoiling anything because we're all right there right now. All right, that will happen on the next episode of Lore of Warcraft. This one is in the pipes, 5x5, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.